So, motherfuckers, after a strong tournament, this was the last round. The rest of the rounds was at 4 at 4 p.m. Sorry, in the evening. But this game of the last round was at 10 in the morning. So okay, I still having options to. I haven't any option of gain rating or maintain my rating. But okay, at least if I had won this game, I couldn't lose so much. But okay, I lost the game. So okay, let's analyze the last round of the tournament. Okay, my opponent opened with d4 like I expect, as he always play with d4, c4, knight f3. As in all his games, he plays the same as d4, c4, and knight f3. Okay, before I select the semi-slab, but starting with the order of knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, knight c3, c6. That's the semi-slab defense. I employ that so much times. E3, played by my opponent, that's the main line. Knight d7, queen c2, all time, that's the main line of the position. Bishop d6, bishop d3, sword castle, and here I select the idea of take on c4 and play c6. Now the plan is that black can game with b5 or with c5. That's I have or with e5, depends on what white do. I have all the options just open. That's the idea of the move a6. For example, if rook here, now I can play with b5, bishop b2, with c7. Now if you came with e4, I can break with e5. Yes, but all the time the two breakthroughs of black and the two black plans are play or break the position or with c5 or break the position with e5. That's what you should make in the semi slab. And sometimes a b5 used to be useful, and the queen goes to c7. My opponent select the move a4. I had another game in this exactly position with a4 too, 2 years ago in the Spanish Championship against the FIDE Master of Andalusia, Gas- Gascon, or was he Gaston? I don't know. Yes, Jose Manuel Gaston Carmona, I think that's her name. That of the last round of the Spanish Championship 2 years ago, that he played the same. He played 8-4 in that game. But okay, I don't remember what he sadly made. But I remember that he goes back with the bishop early or something like that. But okay, c5. Uh, yes, the rook d1 is the main move, but okay, a4 is interesting. The idea is stop b5, of course. C5, finally breaking. Now, I have two normal moves for rook d1 or take on c5, c take on d5, knight d5, rook d1, queen c7. Now, before, good move, a5 is another possibility. Now, I can or return to d7, because the knight is misplaced on c5, and we take on c5 just to recapture, but the better square for the knight is just d7 to gain to e5. Okay, so a5 is a possibility, but my opponent selects b4, who is a theoretical move, knight c7, knight d4, that's the only move here. Okay, now I attacking the bishop and the pawn, so you should play active with white. Playing knight e4, takes and takes, now white defends the bishop. And now I play knight e5. Until here I know all the theory, and yes, all are theoretical moves, and yes, I know the theory. And now I know these two moves. I know bishop e2 and I know 95. For example, after 95, I could play bishop takes, b5, f5, and this position is approximately equal. Or bishop b2, that's the other normal move. But my opponent played 95. And here I make a mistake, but not a mistake of talking about the move. I make a mistake thinking, because I spent 20 minutes thinking in this moment, in a easy position, more or less, because I just have one move and the rest are completely lost, and there is no so difficult. So I spent 20 minutes just to play 96, which is the easiest move of the universe. Because, okay, I don't know 95, and maybe the one problem was that the game was in the morning and I'm also yeah so active in my mind is to activate a little bit. So for that reason I spend so much time to make a normal move. But one thing for what I spend so much time is because I don't know 95 and here I knew bishop b2 and 95 and I suppose that maybe 95 could be bad, but no, 95 is completely fine. And why I think so much because I was with 96 I was looking that white position looks normal. So, and I don't know 95. So, but okay. The other option, like f5, is not possible because queen h6, queen h4, sorry, attacking h7, h6 and now just take and knight takes and blah, something with is winning. And g6 doesn't work because here white have the strong move queen h4 and you return with the bishop and my king is also exposed. So I cannot play it like this. Knight g6 and here white have many options. My opponent said f4 is fine. For example, knight f3 is another good move and here my best move is just repeat position with knight e5. Uh, Bishop before sacrificing the pawn is possible, but okay, here I can take and bishop e5. h4 is another option that I was thinking during the game, but here I have this idea of b5 sacrificing the rook. But okay, f4 play by my opponent was the best. The machine, yes, the machine likes h6, but I think that my move playing the game was better. The machine like h6, and after I take bishop b4. Okay, of course I was that I can take this pawn, but I think that it's also scary for black to keep taking just take pawns without development. I just should focus in solve my problems, and my problems are that I have the c8 bishop undeveloped and the a rook undeveloped. So and the bishop on d6 is hanging on some nice. So I think that it's so careless to play like this. Of course, the machine say that it's playable, but I still thinking that I play better than the machine this time. And okay, bishop c5 here. If king h1, the idea is now we can take and the c4 bishop is hanging. So 95, great move. Takes queen c6. And okay, let's see that here black have two extra pawns and the machine only says 0.20 for black. So in practical sense, it's so much better my move. Bishop e7. The idea is leave the d6 square and later I'm coming to f6 to trade bishop and eject the knight from g5. So bishop b2, bishop f6 would move, trading the white great bishop and ejecting the knight from g5. Bishop f6, now he should take and knight f3. It's true that now my king is a little bit open, but it's not going to be, no, shouldn't be a problem in the future. Bishop d7, now my idea is bishop c6, of course, and develop the rook, so she play b5, stopping that. Here I just trade, and rook c8, attacking the bishop. Bishop f1. And here I feel that my position was pleasant. The machine says equal because okay, white have the weaknesses on e3 and on b5, but there are not so much. And of course, the black king still being so exposed. No, she played a great move according to the machine during the game. I don't think that this was great, but king h1, that's a good move. 97. Rookie one, 97 is so logical. Now. My rook is well placed, my queen is well, my bishop is well. So I just try to improve the only piece that I have bad placed. Rookie one. And here the machines play rook c3 with a small advantage. Of course, I think about that move, but here I don't know how to continue doing the game after 94. But here the machines play bishop c8, a move that I just don't understand. I suppose that he's defending the b7 pawn to come play with the queen something like queen c5, queen e5. So just free the queen and just defend the b7 pawn. You can move the queen, but I don't think about that idea in the game. Sorry, but I just don't think about it. Okay, play knight f5. Yes, improving the knight, attacking a3. I coming with knight d6 to attack b5, which is important. But she played bishop d3. That's a move that I don't expect. Of course, I was this move, but I was thinking that this is not going to work. But yes, this is a good move. He's attacking d4 and later queen a7 or something like that. So for that reason, I play h5. Good move, stopping d4, knight d4. Here I can keep the knight on f5, but okay, take is completely fine. I'm not talking so much because all the time the position is 0-0 according to the machine. So really, we play a really good game, me and my young opponent. So yes, I'm not commenting so much because both players were playing all the time the best moves. F5, of course, closing the diagonal. Important here, not came here because you are not going to checkmate black king only with the queen. So and if you take here queen take and your queen don't make nothing on h7, so important don't give this check. He takes f5, closing the diagonal queen e5. Now great move queen c7. My king is more exposed, so I should trade queens. And she makes a good move queen e3, keeping queens over the board. Now queen c3, activating the queen. I really think that h4 looks. I prefer this move h4. I don't like queen c3, but okay. The machine says 0-0 all the time, but okay, there are some inaccuracies in my opinion. that I could improve a little bit. But for example, in this moment, I think that h4 was more precise than queen c3. But okay, queen c3, h4, good move. King f8, improving the position. King e2, and in this moment again, I stop. Yes, I think during some time because okay, now it's like a position where you should just try to not. Fuck nothing, just okay, cause I have the queen in his best square, the rook is in the best square, the bishop is in the best square, the king I think that is in the best square, so the only move that I think see to don't move nothing and don't touch nothing and don't watch nothing is just the move b6. And now my opponent play queen e5, sacrificing at this moment after b3. Me and my opponent had 5 minutes in the clock, and she spent 4 minutes to play queen e5. I don't know what the fuck I think here that I spent like only 1 minute just to take the bishop. Cause okay, well, I just think that I'm winning after queen d3. Doesn't see nothing. Okay, I'm watching about checks here, but okay, it's king 7, and I thinking about queen d6, but I think okay, I can live with the king here, and I'm completely fine, and the rook cannot came to attack. So I just think that I was winning. So I don't understand what my opponent is fucking doing with queen e5. But maybe I should watch more because that's so easy. After queen d3, she have the idea of rook e3. I completely miss that thing. But wait, the queen takes d3 is not a bad move according to the machine, but in the practical chances is a bad move because put me in some troubles. And the huge problem is that I spend all the tournament, sorry, thinking so much time, all the moves, and here I just spend 1 minute of my 5 minutes. Because, yes, and I just missed the plan of rook e3. So, huge mistake here, this queen, no, it's not mistake according to my team, but in practical sense it's a mistake. Rook e3, but okay, until here I still can defense the game, but I only have to move to defense, but it's not only to make the correct move, it's find the correct idea that I missed to find too. Okay, here I take on e3 because okay, I know that queen takes e3 looks like it's completely lost, but okay, I just trying to make something, and because I see that uh, the position is lost. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, and what happened after queen b5? Who is the first move who came to my mind? The problem is that here black can play queen d6, king e8. Of course, it's not possible because rook g3 and checkmate on g8 on the next move. King d7, but okay, here white have just queen e7 followed by rook g3. That's why queen b5 doesn't work. For that reason, I should play queen c2 or queen e2. For example, queen e2 attacking the rook, and after queen d6, king g7, and after rook g3, the move that I completely miss with king f6 is not so difficult, but yeah, I miss this move. I cannot say so much more. I just miss the idea of place the king on f6. I was only looking for king h6, king h7, king h8, but I completely missed the idea of place the king on f6. So, hey, huge mistake. And okay, the machine say that this position is still being equal. I think that white is putting some pressure. The queen d7, but okay, the position is equal according to the machine. And queen c2 is the other idea who is. I think that this is easier to make the draw. Sorry, yes, queen rook g3, king f6, queen d7, and now I have queen c7. Great move, threatening the queen, and take on f4, so white should take, and now this endgame looks so equal. And maybe black is putting some pressure. So queen e3 is a completely losing move. Queen e3, bishop b5. Later, I had some chances to create problems, not to draw the game, but really to create some troubles. But I missed that moments too. Okay, I think queen e5 looks the easiest move, but okay, queen f3 is completely fine. Bishop c6, queen h5, rook e8, queen h8, king e5, queen e5. And now in the previous move before the time control, I made a very passive move and it's a very bad move. I play fucking king d7, placing bad the king and so far from the h pawn. That's a huge problem. That I miss the I place the king so far from the h pawn, and this allows white to sacrifice the queen. That's the problem. So here I should play just bishop d5. Uh, okay, the position is still winning for white, but now there's no so easy. If he takes this pawn, the position is a dead draw. He cannot make nothing, so he just have that. I doesn't play that because I was that he could defend the sorry, he could defend the pawn. Maybe this is safer, but the position is a draw. Yes, because the king endgame is a draw with position. So she should play h5, only move, rook a2, h6, rook take, king h3, all the moves are forced. After rook g1, again, the only move, queen g7. That's a great move, and the only, but this is enough to win the game. But like, at least I force my opponent to find some good moves, but king d7 is completely horrible. But after king d7, I have some practical chances. Okay, for example, now I take with the bishop because if I take with the rook, queen takes, bishop takes, now it's a6 and I cannot stop the pawn. That's why king d7 is also so bad. But okay, for that reason I tried this idea of bishop takes, h6, bishop d5, king e1, and here I should just still giving checks. Because of course, white position is just winning. He could all the time came to, for example. No. Okay, now I have this, for example, I have rook h1, but okay, let's think about rook h2. He could came to a3 to defend or something like that. But if she came to the sorry to the king side, I all the time have this idea of and now this is the position is a draw, but I miss the idea. Here rook h3 and okay, I was looking during the game about rook b3 here and now I can see yes the position is winning for white. But here I have the incredible idea of king c6 followed by rook b3, b5 and rook e3 defending the position. So yeah, this okay. If white may plays accurately, she could win the game. But at least I creating a trap who was my only goal. I know that the position was lost, but I was thinking about creating yes, make some traps or some tricks. But okay, I failed making that. I just play rook a8 to sacrifice the rook and try to play with this pawn. But okay, the position is so easy for white, and some moves later I just resign. So okay, bad game. No, I'm not going to say bad game. I just it's maybe bad prophylaxis after queen e5 or yes, I suppose I think that I lost the game because just doesn't understand who is my opponent's idea. I think about that of course because she's sacrificing a piece. But okay, maybe I don't think the enough time. I think bad and not the enough time. So I make a tactical miss and later I miss the defense of play the game on f6. So bad defense after queen e5 until here I was playing good. But then bad defense and yes, deserve 0 points. So okay, I end the tournament with a 0 and losing 33 points of rating. But okay, let's go better in other tournaments. Bye bye, motherfuckers.